Lu Guang and Cheng Xiaoshi are two friends who own a local photo studio called the Time Photo Studio. These two barely earn enough to keep their shop up and running and are constantly bothered by their landlady, Dailiren. In order to pay the debt they have for the whole place, Lu Guang and Cheng are often tasked with solving cases for people, and the whole operation runs through Dailiren, who acts as their boss. Today, the two friends have been asked by an unnamed client to expose the fraudulent activities going on at a company called Dailiren Games. All they have to do is retrieve the data from the computer of the boss just by using one picture taken by his assistant, Emma. Lu Guang and Cheng have a special ability that lets them use pictures to travel to the past. Cheng enters the pictures and is able to control the body of whoever had taken the picture for the next 12 hours. While Cheng is inside the pictures, Lu remains outside, but connected, able to glean information from the photos and gives him instructions from the present on what exact move he should make. While they can travel to the past, they need to follow three main rules. First, they only have 12 hours, so they need to finish it as soon as they can. Second, Lu will take the lead. He will make all the decisions and not Cheng. And finally, they cannot do anything to change the past, so they cannot have any emotional attachments to their clients' lives. Lu announces the rules once again, as Cheng uses the picture to jump into Emma's body from a week ago. Emma appears to be a real hard worker and is still in her office when Cheng enters her body. This gives him the perfect opportunity to enter the boss's office. However, the boss is still at the office as well. Cheng can't find a single opening at his office to sneak a peek at the computer, and on top of that, the boss starts harassing him, or her. This must probably be what Emma deals with every day, so he hopes for the best, cursing his luck, and goes along with it. As the boss is about to kiss her, after pinning her to the wall, Emma's phone suddenly rings, creating an excuse to get out of it. Cheng thanks his stars and talks to Emma's mother, who's just worried if her daughter is eating well or not. Emma's life is miserable, and Cheng can feel all her emotions now that he's in her body. She came to the city to earn money and help her family have a better life, but she was stuck at this dead-end job, facing harassment every day just to get by. She couldn't tell her parents because they worry all the time, nor could she quit the job. Emma lays down in her bed alone and dreams about her parents, consequently making Cheng dream about his parents as well. Being an orphan, Cheng understands the feeling of loneliness, and despite Lu's warning, he goes ahead and messages Emma's parents to come and take her away, an event that didn't actually happen in the past. The next day, there's a meeting at 9 a.m., which is the final opportunity for them to get the job done. Cheng purposely throws a cup of coffee onto her boss's lap and starts cleaning it as per Lu's orders. Just then, the boss's wife barges in and starts accusing Emma of making her husband cheat on her. She slaps Emma, and as she falls, she drags her boss's laptop along with her, allowing Lu to gather all the data through her eyes. When Cheng finally gets out of the past, Lu asks him if he did anything stupid, but Cheng denies it, knowing altogether that he had in fact done something he shouldn't have. Emma, after being released from Cheng's control, notices the message. She's thankful because she would have never had the courage to admit defeat. She quickly calls her parents, who are already on their way to meet her. Emma rushes out of her room and heads to the train station when a man bumps into her and offers to drive her to the station if she's in such a hurry. Back to the present again, and all of the higher-ups at Dailiren Games are finally caught and put under arrest for fraud. Lu and Cheng are glad that the job is done. However, when Cheng is distracted by Xiao, Lu looks at his phone to find news that a dead body was found, the body of Emma. The next day, Dailiren comes up with another task for the two to deal with. This time, they were approached by Yu Xia, an owner of a chain restaurant. Apparently, she had an argument with her business partner, who was now leaving the company. The only issue was that her partner, Lin Chen, was the only one who knew the secret recipe. Yu had tried everything, but couldn't coerce her friend to hand over the recipe, and there are no legal means she can use to compel her. So she had come chasing after the rumored Time Photo Studio. Yu hands Xiao tons of pictures from their past to recent times so that Cheng and Lu could somehow get some info about the secret ingredient. Cheng jumps into multiple pictures, one by one, to find any clue or any way he can influence Lin to give him the secret ingredient. However, every time, Lin acts as if Yu already knows the ingredient and that it's an open secret. They get down to the last picture, their final opportunity to find the recipe. This picture, however, seems to have been taken by Lin, so Cheng is now in Lin's body and realizes that the two friends were actually separating because of Yu's constant need to grow the company. She had forgotten what they had actually set out to do, to have fun and spread the joy of their cooking. Lin and Yu separated that day, and Lin takes a taxi straight back to Yu's hometown, Xiaoshi. The driver reveals that the place is really small and only a few people know about it, and what it is known for are its fragrant flowers, which can also be used as a seasoning. Out of sheer coincidence, Cheng and Lu manage to find the secret ingredient and relay the message to Yu through Xiao. Just when they think that they were done with the job, they realize that there was one more picture taken by Lin. So just to have one more bowl of noodles, Cheng convinces Lu to let him enter the memory. There, it's revealed that it was Yu who had suggested the secret ingredient and told Lin about it. And ever since then, to cherish that day, the day they decided to open a noodle shop after graduation, Lin had been using the flour in her noodles. Back in the present, after hearing about the secret ingredient, Yu is filled with regret. She understands her friend's feelings and how she had strayed away from what they were planning to do. She takes a cab back to her hometown as well and finds Lin there running a small restaurant. The friends embrace, finally having settled their differences. A few days later, an architect, Chen Xiao, hears rumors about Cheng and Lu's powers and seeks them out to change his regrets from the past on the day of his last basketball game. He tells them that he missed the chance to say some words to his friend and his first love on that day, and even to his mother, so he just wants them to deliver these words. While this would contradict their do not alter the past rule, Lu still accepts the job. Cheng jumps into a picture taken by Xiao during the basketball game and becomes him. Xiao and his group of friends actually belong to a really poor part of the country. Their gymnasium is deteriorating, and the school is soon going to have it demolished because the administration prioritizes academics over sports. However, the students don't know this and believe that if they win the game, they could save the gym from demolition and fulfill their wish of going to the national tournaments. Xiao is actually a substitute and is there as a part-time player/photographer. The game begins, and Xiao's team is abysmal. The other team immediately starts overpowering them, and by the end of the first half, has a massive 20-point lead. Cheng is frustrated, but he can't do anything, with Lu constantly reminding him that the game was meant to be lost. During the third quarter, one of the opposing team members purposely fouls Xiao's team captain, Lu Hongbin, rendering him injured and unable to play. Xiao steps in to take his place. While Xiao might have been a bad player, with Cheng controlling his body, he appears to be exceptionally good. Cheng plays so well that his team starts making a comeback and slowly starts catching up. With 20 seconds remaining, the opponents score, taking a 2-point lead. Cheng gets the ball and races down court. He stands poised to score a 3-pointer, but once again remembers that they cannot win and passes the ball. But surprisingly, his teammate scores a 3-pointer. They had won. Cheng suddenly stops, scared that he might have destroyed reality itself. But apparently everything is fine. Cheng finds out that the school would stop the games anyways, so their winning made no difference, and the future was preserved. After that, Cheng assists his injured team captain home, and while on the way, he delivers the words that Xiao wanted to be said. Nearly arrived, they meet Liu, Hongbin's sister, and Xiao's crush. Hongbin sets them up with a little alone time, and Cheng manages to give Xiao's words to her as well. Finally, it's time for him to deliver Xiao's message to his mother. Cheng begins to bike home as night approaches, and asks Lu if it was really okay for him to be saying those words. Lu reassures him that as long as the node didn't change, it would be fine. Xiao's mother doesn't seem to be very fond of her son playing basketball, and spending time taking pictures. She doesn't want him to be like his father. Cheng feels good despite the constant nagging because he knows what it is to not have a family. He delivers the words Xiao asks them to, making his mother happy as they finish dinner. Suddenly, when his mom forces him to have some more noodles, he's reminded of the day's date, May 12th, 2008. Cheng remembers that today, a massive earthquake would devastate the town, and only a few people would manage to survive the quake. This was perhaps the reason why his actions were causing no change to the future, because all the people he interacted with would die. Cheng remembers being young and losing his parents, and cannot fathom Xiao losing everyone on that very day. The messages he delivered earlier were farewell messages, and it finally made sense. Guang tells Cheng that he cannot alter death. Death is an important node. If he tried to alter such a node, the entire universe could collapse. Cheng, however, ignores this and attempts to convince Chen's friends to flee the village to escape the earthquake, with little success. Since Cheng cannot actually explain who he is, and no one would believe him anyway, he's unable to conjure up some actual sensible words to convince them. Unable to save Xiao's friends, whom Cheng has grown to like, he begs Guang to at least allow him to save Chen's mother, and surprisingly, Guang agrees. Just as the earthquake is about to hit, Lu tells Cheng exactly where he must go, and also designates the position for the mother so that she would be safe. The earthquake hits. Mother and son are trapped in the rubble. Despite their agreement, Xiao's mother still ends up dying. Cheng exits the picture with tears in his eyes and filled with rage. He punches Lu for lying to him and tells his friend that they should stop their business for a while. However, just as they head down, they're faced with a police officer asking for their help. Accompanied by the father of the victim, the police officer explains the old case. 3 years ago, the man's child had been kidnapped in broad daylight, upending his family's life. One day, their son Dodo was with them in their coffee shop and wanted to play with them. But their shop was very busy at the time, and the boy's father just gave him his phone and asked him to go play on his own. The child was then just taken by some random kidnapper in the middle of the day. The father had searched every single day since. The officer tells them that he had tried his best to help the father find Dodo, but there was no trace of any clue, and so they wanted Lu and Cheng's help. However, Cheng is still pissed and paranoid about what happened earlier and decides that he doesn't want to take the job and barges out. Later that day, Xiao comes to Cheng and tells him that she kinda knew the boy who was kidnapped and the man as well. On the day of the kidnapping, she was there at the shop and caught a glimpse of Dodo being taken away. However, she never really got to gather info about the kidnapper and didn't have the courage to help the father either. She feels deep regret about that day and asks Cheng to change his mind about taking the case. Cheng finally decides that he would help out. They contact the father and manage to only get CCTV footage from that day, a frame of which serves as a photo. This picture's a bit different, since it wasn't taken by anyone. There's no one for Cheng to control, and he himself would be transported to the past. The kidnapper probably knew all the CCTV blind spots and would use them, so Lu wouldn't be much help either. Taking the risk, Cheng enters the new location. He can't allow anyone to take notice of him or stand out in the crowd in any way, because that may change the past and affect the future, so he hides out. But by the time he goes to the scene to check, the kidnapper has already taken the boy. Determined to at least see the face, Cheng races behind them, but accidentally stumbles upon Xiao, who was walking the same street. Cheng quickly tries to run away, diverting Xiao's attention just enough for her to also miss the kidnapper's face. Cheng is not supposed to be seen, so he scurries away and loses track of the kidnapper. The job has failed. They return back and can only apologize to the boy's father because there's nothing else they can do. Xiao also admits that she had seen his son that day and expresses her regret for not letting them know earlier. The boy's father, however, is generous and forgiving, and in his heart still believes that he will find his son. As he shows them the pictures on his phone, the group stumble upon a picture that Dodo took on that day. Using this photo, Cheng jumps into the past and into Dodo's body. On the day of the kidnapping, after Dodo is left outside, he is soon approached by a fat lady. She uses a strange ball to render Dodo unconscious and takes him away. When Cheng finally wakes up again as Dodo, they have very little time left, so he quickly goes to the lady's purse and sees her identity number before she wakes up. Just when she does wake up, Cheng pretends to channel her ancestors and beats her up for doing bad deeds using Dodo's body. The lady is scared witless and seems to come to her senses. Back in the present, the lady is finally caught, and Dodo is reunited with his parents. Turns out, the lady was so scared after the incident that she stopped trafficking children altogether and was taking care of Dodo pretty well, so it all turned out for the good. When the case is finally settled, the police officer approaches Lu and Cheng for help with another one of his cases. This one was of a serial killer who had been wreaking havoc in the city for the last few months. He hands Lu a case file with some pictures, but upon seeing that the case was related to Emma, Lu quickly refuses the case before Cheng can even have a look. The next day, Xu Shanshan, a friend of the Time Photo Studio gang, arrives at the shop with a regular request. She's had a crush on one of her classmates, Dong Yi, for a long while now. She's pretty sure that Dong Yi likes her too, and that he even confessed this during their graduation celebration. But Xu was too wasted and blacked out just at that moment. She wants to know what Dong had told her. So Cheng and Lu decide to help their friend out. Cheng enters Xu's body from the day before at the party. However, just as Cheng is hearing what Dong said, he notices a man approaching Xu's friend. Fearing the man was the serial killer from the police chief's photograph, Cheng gives chase and follows him into an alleyway. It turned out to be a man Xu recently turned down and was not the serial killer. But the whole scene actually ends up creating a piece of internet news that was definitely not supposed to happen, and they receive a really weird message from Xu's phone, soon after which the phone goes dead. Fearing the strange man on the phone was the killer and he might have done something bad to Xu, Guang visits the police. He requests to see the back photo of the serial killer that the CCTV had captured to see if he can find any clues. He quickly figures out the number plate of the serial killer's car. However, just behind the car, he notices Cheng. Lu rushes back to his home, where Cheng is nowhere to be found. Cheng had used the photo released by the police to enter the past alone. This was a really dangerous act, since without Lu's help, there was no telling what would happen. Cheng appears on the day of the photo and enters the trunk of the serial killer's car to see where it will go. The plate number given to the police turns out to be that of a rich guy named Liu Min, who was their prime suspect to begin with. When the officers go to visit Min's house to question him, they find that the guy's paralyzed from the waist down. Still on his solo mission in the past, Cheng is locked up in the trunk of the car, which is taking a girl somewhere. Cheng soon recognizes the voice to be Emma's. She was being taken by the serial killer. Turns out, the guy offering Emma help to get to her parents had abducted her. Cheng is devastated because his text to Emma's parents is what led to this massive calamity in her life. And now, he couldn't do anything to save her either because that would yet again change the past. He whimpers in the trunk as the killer, who is in fact Liu Min, starts to strangle Emma. Cheng cries out, which stops Min, but when Min goes to check the trunk, it's empty. Cheng reappears at the Time Photo Studio in front of a very angry Guang and a very surprised Xiaoling. The defeated Cheng says he did not change anything and realized the futility of his actions. Lu calls the police to see if they had at least caught Liu Min, but due to circumstantial evidence, Min couldn't be taken into custody. Turns out that Emma was not killed in the car by Min, a change caused by Cheng's actions, and she was last seen walking alone on an empty bridge. Now that the police had no cause to arrest Liu Min, Lu and Cheng decide to take matters into their own hands. Finding a photo taken by Xu before her disappearance, Guang manages to check out exactly what happened that day. Turns out that a masked man approached her and attacked her. After preparing himself for the worst-case scenario, Cheng heads into the photo taken by Xu and becomes her for the day. He reenacts every move that Xu made until nightfall and patiently waits for the murderer to arrive. However, in the present, Cheng had also set up a few pictures luring the actual murderer to their house too. In synchronicity, kind of, time's weird here, Cheng stops the attacker from killing Xu, and Guang runs to the development room and locks the attacker inside. Cheng then makes a deal with the murderer to let Xu go in return for engaging him in battle. Cheng then returns back to the present, in the development room, and battles it out with the masked murderer. Using the photos there, he jumps out and back into that present moment of battle, confusing the murderer and taking the upper hand. Turns out Liu Min was the murderer and could walk perfectly fine, but something seems off about him. Cheng beats him up until the man admits his deeds and the police come in and arrest him. Liu Min is interrogated by the authorities, who are confused about his inconsistent paralysis. One minute he seems perfectly fine, and then again can't seem to walk moments later. Liu Min, for his part, repeats over and over that it was his friend who actually committed the murders, and not him. When the doctor's reports arrive, Liu Min appears to have no mental issues either, so either he was telling the truth or was an elaborate liar. Back at home, Cheng decides to go and attempt to save Emma one last time, and with Lu's help, enters the picture of where Emma was last seen. Turns out, on the day of the murder, due to Cheng's disturbance, Liu Min didn't entirely kill Emma. Liu was afraid he had killed Emma and rushed to a hospital. Emma, however, regained consciousness on the way, and in a stupor caused Liu to crash the car. She somehow survived and walked away. Filled with regret and hopelessness, Emma is on the edge of the bridge about to end her life, when Cheng arrives and explains how everything that happened to her was his fault. He tells her that everyone has a hope to live a better life, and she can too. But Emma is too far gone. She demands that he send her back, using his powers, to a time before anything weird happened, before her time in the city, back with her parents. Suddenly, Emma's eyes change, as if she were possessed by someone. She smiles and talks weirdly to herself, exclaiming how she finally figured out who the witness was, and then jumps off the bridge. In the present, Liu Min, using the cuffs on his hands, strangles himself. And back at home, Tiao's eyes turn too, and she stabs Guang just as he realizes that someone with the ability to control spirits was among them, doing all of this. Cheng returns back to the present. He sees a possessed Tiao before him. She speaks in a weird voice and taunts Cheng for cheating earlier, and declares that the game has now been reset. Thank you for sticking until the end. Subscribe for more videos like this.